Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Grab some tea, some soda, wine, whatever you want to indulge in, and something to crunch or munch or nibble, because I'm going to do a story time. I never know what order I'm going to put my videos up because I know last week I believe is when I first heard about this story about when a woman went to a restaurant. I believe it was Buffalo Wild Wings, and she had to go to the restroom. And a waitress literally hounded her down, accusing her of being male and saying she had to prove of being female when she was just trying to go to the restroom. Now I'm hearing that she's filing a lawsuit. I hope she gets that bread. I hope she gets that money. And I hope, oh, yeah, I'm just like, be patty, be patty. And so I saw another channel, which is in the video, the first video that I posted. It's kind of funny because I didn't even really listen to it, but until after I did my video, and I see that we agree on quite a few things. It's kind of funny, but I guess that's what you get when you get the educated people. We are in, because some people say, oh, you're the sheep, you're going to follow. No, it's called we're educated, so maybe that's why we're aligned with opinions on certain matters. And so instead of calling us sheep, maybe call us educated. Maybe acknowledge that we've read books and articles and that we're open-minded to look at other viewpoints, and that's why we come together, because we've seen those different viewpoints, and we have empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, and care for other people. So that's just my opinion. That's my opinion, but okay. This episode is going to be basically how I've been contested with my gender and everything because, like I said in the last video, men are trying to test us for power. They're trying to make sure that women are just going to be the cookie cutter, like, female for some reason. And I mean, a power and aggression and ownership and things, but there has to be something else. There has to be some other reason. Either love that they won't be able to obtain if women gets to continue just being themselves, because once a woman is free, she'll have the common sense to not want anything to do with a lot of these guys. And that, I'll probably hit harder on it later, but it's really crazy how many men I keep hearing that tell either me or tell the public or the population that women need to settle. I have had so many men tell me to settle. And or they're like, you're gonna be nothing but a cat lady. Well, at least I'm gonna care about the cats if I do become a cat lady, or at least I would feel like the cats, like, they will feel welcomed and compassion and empathy, and like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, hmm, would I rather be a cat woman and or cat lady and know that my pets love me or appreciate what I do for them, or have or deal with a man that I settled with who doesn't and will just use me and take everything they can from me and tell me I just have to be submissive because of my gender and everything. It's just like, which one is like what? Like, a lot of men just expect women to be so scared of being a cat lady. But when you say that women need to settle, doesn't that show you something? Isn't that a warning that maybe men need to evolve and change? That's what I don't get. Instead of men changing and men figuring out how to mature emotionally and in other ways, or how they need to see women as just objects or humans that make humans. It's, I don't, but I'm gonna just be giving some examples because I've been showing the screenshots. If you've been watching the episodes, you already see, and like, I don't have them organized. I'm gonna try to organize or figure out a way to organize them, but there are so many times where men have tried to contest my gender, my sexuality, and everything because I don't fit their cookie cutter. And or they tell me that I have to change my interests, my hobbies, my passions, my goals because it does not fit the female gender identity. And I think that's pretty disgusting and pathetic. So, okay. So, I will never forget that let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I was working promotions, and there was this one coworker. Well, we're all independent contractors, but there was this guy who kept trying to talk to me in a way, but he would always hint to me or tell me. He told me, but he didn't tell me. It depended on the time of day, kind of like a vampire. But there would be times where he would be telling me that in order for me to be feminine enough for him or woman enough, I would have to start going to the nail shop because real women get their nails done. Real women will make sure they're dolled up for him because for him to pay attention to a woman, she has to pay to make sure she looks good enough for him. Hmm. So when I told him that I was not interested in him, and trust me, it's like, I don't know, like during the promotional modeling days, I had such low self esteem that, yeah, I ended up talking to guys, or there were some of the coworkers, and like a year or two later, I'm just like, do I hate myself that badly? And the truth was, I did. I really did. But but it's like I did have enough common sense for some of them. Yeah. But yeah, I learned a lot during my promotional modeling days. And then, okay, when it comes to running a business, though, you do not. Well, some of you women may know, some of you ladies may know, how men don't like that. They can't stand it, and especially men from certain types of churches. They say women are not supposed to be in leadership roles, and that one told me that I have to tell him. He said I had no choice, but I have to tell him what type of business I was going to start, and I had to give him the ideas. And he was going to apply it with an LLC, and he said that he would run the business. I can, manage and do stuff, but it is. He said I was not supposed to be in charge of it. I am supposed to give my ideas to the man or to the guy. Oh, see, it's like and I have another episode coming soon with another reason why I no longer give a lot of my business ideas. Like sometimes I'll give hints of it, especially to some of my college students. But yeah, majority of the college students that I've had, they would have been too lazy to work on what I'm working on. I mean, there were some where I'm like, yeah, that one, and if they do, I would be kind of proud of them if they do. So, but yeah, the rest of them, yeah, they were. Anyway. It's just like with even some of the men, it's and I keep dragging black men, but yeah, because a lot of black men, it's crazy when it comes to being a woman, female, and everything like that. It's like some men say that they will only date women if their hair is such a certain length. And then some men say that they will only date women with straight hair or relaxed hair, and or flat iron. Like it has to be a certain European style type of way. Which, oh yeah, back with promotional modeling days, a lot of our contracts had that you must have a European style, like type of hairstyle. The good old days. See, so yeah, this episode's really making me remember my promotional modeling days. But uh, hmm, when it comes to even our like, well, the length of hair is like that's one reason why I started wearing weaves and wigs and things like that because my hair is short. It just, especially with the hair type, and when heat is added, African American hair has the weakest hair type compared to Caucasian, and I believe Asians have the strongest type of hair. And so, I follow. There's a scientist that I follow, and they did like a whole series on hair and everything. But our hair shouldn't be taking that much damage and everything. But it's like with some men, that like to them that's feminine. Having long hair equals female, feminine and stuff. But I know some women with short hair, and I'm just like, ooh, wow, you look amazing, a goddess. Get it, okay? And there's some women with long hair. They need deep conditioner, but you know what? Yeah, I'm not judging. I'm just observing. It's like, yeah, cause I love conditioner. Yeah, cause my hair, yeah, it needs it. But it's just crazy how men put all of these restrictions and they say with their date, like, and that's the thing, they're allowed to have their dating standards, and most of their dating standards are physical. But then when I have my dating standards, most of them, actually, none of mine are physical. Most of mine, because yeah, I'm a sapiosexual, most of mine are either mental or like planning wise. But yeah, none of, because yeah, I like the short kings. I mean, there's some tall guys, but yeah, it's like I like short kings. I don't care. It's like height isn't. It's I I get excited about the conversation and how much a guy is willing to talk to me and how deep we can get within different topics, especially political. And that's one reason why on the first phone call I try to see how the guy can handle political talk. And a lot of them can't. A lot of them won't. A lot of them refuse, or they tell me that women are not allowed to talk politics, or they're not supposed to talk politics, that politics is none of our business. But then I wonder, is that why you voted for the same person who was trying to take away women's right to vote? Or is the reason why you did not vote is because you wouldn't mind for women to lose their right to vote? Or you say that you're a Democrat and stuff, but you decided not to vote because it was a woman? Because yes, like, and whenever I hear some of these men tell me that they didn't vote because it's like they didn't like the orange guy, but they refused to vote for a woman, and or like now women are trying to take places that are not theirs, and or it's like this country should not follow the lead or follow the rules of a woman. Oh, and then at the same time, like I mentioned in the other episode on this topic, I feel like a lot of MAGA women, Republican conservative women, are helping these men along because they say, no, women aren't leaders. Women shouldn't be leaders, only men. And then a lot of them are Christian, a lot of them go to the church, but then don't you know there's female leaders all over the Bible? And that's why sometimes, like within my Christian spirituality, it's evolving and changing because I keep seeing the contradictions. When the pastors go up to the pulpit, they're contradicting themselves so much to the point where it's like you say women can't be leaders, but they are leaders in the Bible. And I don't know, it's just, but then also, like back to starting my business with my ideas and everything, it's crazy how many men tell me that a woman has no place, and or women's ideas are stupid or dumb, or with my business ideas that they have to fix it, they have to change it. Because there was even that one guy that I've mentioned with the mini story times. He he told me that once I am done writing my books, I would have it to give it to him so he can read it and change what he deemed fit. And he said, and if I don't like the changes, then I would not be allowed to publish. And right then and there, I was like, okay, we are never going to hang out again. And we didn't. But then he kept trying to call me and text me, and he kept saying how stupid I. And that's another thing. Like a lot of men say women are stupid when that the woman figures out he's not a match. And also, while watching different relationship videos, listening to how many divorce lawyers and like couples therapists say women normally leave about like half the time, like okay, let's pretend it was an 8-year relationship. When a woman leaves, normally half that time for 4 years, it was awful, it was terrible. But that woman was trying her best. And she was trying to see if she could fix it, trying to see if she can manage the situation or manage him. And usually when couples get divorced, period, it's like a lot of women are the ones that file because usually it's them that are the ones having to grunt and take on so much. If you listen to my one Father's Day episode, either Father's Day or Mother's Day, no, I think it was Father's Day, where Jimmy Kimmel, or I have an example of Jimmy Kimmel when they were interviewing dads and asking them questions about their kids. None of them knew anything. I think it was all like 0%. We should be fortunate that they know their kids' names. But the moms, they started asking some of the moms, and each one knew every single answer. Every single answer. And then with a lot of women, they talk about how a lot of them work because they either want to work or have to work, but then when they get home, they're obligated to have to take care of the kids and the kitchen and the laundry and cleaning as a whole and managing the house, maybe even balancing the checkbook or running the errands, making sure groceries are in the cabinets and everything like that. And to men, that's feminine because they feel like that's a woman's place. I remember there was this one video where there's a guy in his car and he's saying that women need to act right, women need to act feminine. It's like, because I need to marry one. Because because I will do the work. I will go out and I will make the money. She can do all these things I don't want to do. I'm paraphrasing. But he was like, she can go to the bank because I think he had to go to like 3 or 4 banks because something wasn't working right or whatever. And then I think he had to go to the pharmacy, like he had to run a few errands. And he was just saying, I shouldn't have to do any of this. That's like she should. And then there was another guy. Oh my gosh, okay. I can't believe I'm going to say this. But there's one guy who said that men are not supposed to get women wet. Oh, do we need sex ed in the classroom? Okay, can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a hallelujah? We need it in the classroom immediately. Immediately. Okay, okay, because um okay, how am I gonna say, okay, how do you think um hmm, how do you think you get to get it in there? Okay, okay. Because yeah, friction, something like that. Yeah, friction hurts. So think about, do the science. Think the science through that. Okay, okay. Because yeah, when men say things like that, they just show to me either. Oh, and I think he's divorced too. So part of me was like, no wonder your wife left you. Because if you really think that, no wonder she left you. And at the end of it's like, because now it's like I'm thinking of all of the times I've had men tell me that I wasn't either woman enough, or I'm not a real woman, or I need to tone it down, or this is that, this or that's the reason why I'm gonna end up a cat lady. And at the end of the day, as long as I plan on adopting and fostering, because I mean, yeah, I tried to find a husband, but I didn't want to have to suffer like I'm hearing a lot of these divorce lawyers say that a lot of women do. And it's kind of crazy because a lot of the women in my family used to judge me for not being married. But then, especially over the last few years, they're like, don't get married, don't do it, don't make it's a mistake, run. And it's just kind of funny. It's amusing because they used to even whisper and accuse me of being a lesbian. And it's like, even if I was, what's your point? Even if I was, like, what's your point? But when a when I get judged on a daily basis. And see, this is why I feel like women need to come together, because I hear men always say bros before garden hose and stuff like that. But it's like what I feel like women, we don't have each other's back like men do. It's like some women will literally help men take away our rights. They will help. I mean, they will hand the the shovel and help dig that 6 foot grave in a minute. I mean, they'll probably grab some shovels or even get some of the construction equipment to help dig it. They'd be like, okay, let me help you. Or they'll call the manager to get the equipment. They don't care. And that's scary. It's like some women are so determined to hurt other women, especially a lot of the Generation X and boomers. Both of those generations, especially since they're done with having kids or they didn't have kids or whatever have you, some of them are like, since these laws don't like apply for them, and or a lot of women who don't vote anyways, or they just let their husbands vote or make their decisions anyway. Because even with that one commercial, like, but like during the orange guy versus Kamala Harris election, we had that one model, or the one actress. She was, feeling like going through the voting process, and it's like there's actually two commercials, and there was one where she would be going up, and it's like she would try to go and vote, and there was like a voiceover of the importance of voting and women voting and everything. But then there was another one where the men would be talking and then kind of hinting of telling their wives who to vote for. But then the women looked at each other and kind of winked on, I'm not voting for him. Heck no. And so I don't know, it's just, I feel like some of the other women are kind of, I don't know if it's laziness or their determination of not being a leader, because some women, with that one pastor, quote unquote pastor, they were interviewing people from the congregation or another pastor from the church, and she was like, "I'm submissive. Oh no, I do what he says. Oh, it's like I'm not supposed to be a leader." I don't know. It was just the things that she was saying was just cringier and cringier. I was just like, "Huh?" Like, no, oh my gosh, I would never want to have lunch with you. That would be, it's like, and the thing is, I want to get to know people on the other side just so I can hear their perspective. But then when I hear them talk, it's like, oh, that reminds me of the one guy who told me, oh, he's like, so we can't date just because I'm a Republican. You don't even know my point of views, but I wouldn't want to date you anyway. And I'm just like, dummy, so if you don't want to date me, like, why are you contesting that I say we're gonna be platonic and we're never gonna date? But it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of funny with, he was telling me that if I said my Republican or conservative views, you would just have your hands up to your ears, covering your ears or whatever. I'm like, no, the more you talk, the more it proves to me why I am so thankful and grateful of not being conservative, MAGA, or Republican. I'm going to be so happy with being a Democrat, liberal, progressive one too. So, but I think a lot of men do not like that. It's like, especially when a lot of men try to tell me, especially even vaccinations, they say I don't know better or they have to teach me. Men keep trying to tell me that they have to teach me. Men keep trying to tell me that they need to teach me, but then at the end of the day, I'm the one teaching them or telling them facts. But then when I ask them what's your source, they don't have a source, or they try to tell me it's one of these MAGA men. But then when I give them articles and when I give them, it's like, and oh, verified articles by people from universities and schools and stuff, not articles from random people from some of these sites where they're allowed to just say or state anything. Because, oh yeah, I think I've shown the screenshots, but I don't show it as often. But the one guy who kept calling me the N word because I'm vaccinated and because I kept proving my point, he kept trying to show me articles, but some of the articles, they link back to people who promote our RFK Jr.'s point of view with healthcare, and I'm just like, do you really want to go there? Do you really want to go there? I don't think you want to go there. And so once I pointed out that item, because I think that part was over the phone, he hung up on me because I told him it was not going to be a match because I said I'm a Democrat liberal, and he told me, called me out my name. But then the next morning, he kept sending me messages calling me the N word and telling me that it was worthless and all this other stuff. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some men, it's like in order to be feminine enough, we have to agree with them, but not only agree with them, go against science, go against history, go against everything that will keep us educated because they don't want us educated. Some of them want us as dumb as possible so that we'll just follow the leader and we'll just do as they say, just like a cult. Just like a cult. And I refuse to. A lot of these men say I'm not feminine enough because I stay in the books, I study, and I research, and I look at other perspectives so then I can go and investigate and come to my own conclusions. Because I'm not saying, like, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. And I'm not saying I'm always right, but I know at least most majority of the times I'm on the right track at least. But this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.